Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on the 11th of May 2022, a team of journalists arrived in Jenin to report on a raid by Israeli occupation forces on a refugee camp. They had years of experience on conflict reporting, dedicating their lives to make sure they amplify oppressed voices. On that morning, the team wore their press jackets, as you see in the photo, and made their way to an area safe enough to report. Within 2 minutes, two of Al Jazeera journalists, Shireen Abu Aqla and Ali Al-Sammoudi, were shot by IOF forces. Shireen's injury, a shot aimed at her head directly, proved fatal. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, the protection of journalists is of prime importance to the State of Qatar. We have thus taken a number of concrete measures at the domestic and international levels, from evacuating hundreds of journalists from Kabul since the events of August 2021, the hosting of the International Conference to Protect Journalists in 2012, and the launch of the Universal Declaration for the Protection of Journalists in Doha in 2016. Qatar also sponsored the first UN Security Council resolution on protecting journalists in armed conflict situations, which was adopted under Qatari presidency of the Council. It is thus, in this regard, that we strongly condemn the assassination of the Palestinian-American journalist Shireen Abu Aqla. We reaffirm that Israeli occupation forces' failure to explicitly acknowledge its crime is an attempt to escape criminal responsibility. We call for an independent international investigation and accountability for those responsible for this heinous crime, which we believe is key to achieve justice and also prevent recurrence. And here, I would like to quote a few words from the family of Abu Aqla, whom I met a few days ago. They wanted to make sure that you, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, hear these words, and I quote, "Shireen relied in her report on facts and conveyed the voice of Palestine and its people to the whole world, which made her a role model for a large number of Palestinian women to follow in the field of media. The Palestinian people stood in dignity and united during her funeral. Unfortunately, the occupation attacked the mourners without any reason and stormed the French hospital in Jerusalem, also without any reason. Shireen was targeted while fulfilling her professional duty as a journalist, working on covering events and reporting them to the world. She sacrificed her life, and this is another reason for the international community that they must confront and hold Israel accountable no matter what." End of quote. And here I conclude, Shireen dedicated her life working to shed light on the atrocities committed against the Palestinian people. She is one of more than 45 Palestinian journalists killed directly by the Israeli occupation since the year 2000. We must work together to ensure that journalists, especially those working in conflict zones, are protected and that no exceptions are made. No exceptions are made when we hold those responsible accountable. Thank you very much.